So we learned the identity of 2 of the 3 London attackers. And look at this. Suspect identified in London terror attack featured in a documentary about jihadis. Khurram Shahzad Butt, unfortunate last name, and a second identified suspect, Rashid Redouane, both hailed from East London. They say, 2 of the 3 suspects in Saturday's deadly terrorist attacks in central London have been identified, the Metropolitan Police said Monday. Police named the first suspect as Khurram Shahzad Butt, a 27-year-old British citizen born in Pakistan. The second suspect, 30-year-old Rashid Redouane, claimed to be Moroccan and Libyan. Redouane also went by the name Rashid Elkdar. The third suspect hasn't been identified yet. Butt had also gained public attention. He was featured in the Jihadis Next Door, a Channel 4 documentary that aired in January 2016. The film, made over the course of 2 years, shows him praying with an Islamist group called Al-Muhajirun in front of an Islamic State flag in London's Regent's Park. Butt appears in the film alongside Mohammed Shamsuddin, one of the ringleaders of the group. Shamsuddin proudly proclaimed in the film that the jihadi flag may one day fly over 10 Downing Street, the British Prime Minister's residence. He is believed to have fled to Syria in 2014 and appears to have appeared in one of ISIS's execution videos. Whoa. Okay. I touched on this yesterday. It turns out I was more correct than even I knew. One of the problems that they're dealing with in Britain is there's a decent number of people who end up going to Syria, fighting alongside the rebels on the battlefield of jihad against the big bad Syrian government, and then they come back. So they leave, they go and fight alongside jihadists, and then they come back. Now, understand something. When Donald Trump says we need to do a Muslim ban, a total and complete shutdown of Muslims coming into the U.S. Here, I just picked 6 nations that are Muslim nations. I'm going to ban everybody coming from those places. Tremendous, believe me. That is a sign of bigotry because he's talking about over 1.5, 1.6 billion people. You're just lumping them all in that category of close enough to Al-Qaeda. Okay, that's bad and bigoted and wrong and stupid. It's not bad or bigoted or wrong or stupid to say, hey, maybe if people go fight alongside fucking jihadists in Syria, red flag. Maybe track them. Maybe use your intelligence services to track those motherfuckers. Or here's a wild idea. Don't let them back in the country. If they go fight alongside goddamn jihadists, maybe you don't let them back in the country. Call me crazy. It's not like if you take the position of, no, whatever, there's no problem, don't track them, don't use intelligence for this, or let them in the country, you've become a caricature of a progressive position. The progressive position is, no, we shouldn't be discriminatory. We shouldn't do a religious test. You know, we shouldn't ban all Muslims from coming to the U.S. That's crazy. That's a progressive position. Let's be reasonable and vet on like a case-by-case basis. But it is a caricature of the progressive or liberal position to say, yes, if somebody stars in a documentary about jihadists, goes to fight alongside jihadists in Syria, and then comes back in the country, how dare you want to track that person using intelligence, or how dare you want to kick them out and not let them in the country? I cannot believe that is so bigoted and discriminatory. That's not bigoted and discriminatory. That's fucking common sense. That's intelligence. That is intelligence. That is intelligence 101 work. You know how quickly, like, I don't know what the system is in the UK, but in the US, you need a warrant, a specific warrant to do spying on an individual or person, place, or thing. So if they have, like, a warrant in the UK, you know how quickly, if I was a judge, I would approve the warrant on this motherfucker? Oh, he starred in a series about jihadists, and he prayed with a fucking Islamic State flag behind him. He traveled to Syria. So You're telling me this guy went Syria, he's trying to come back in, and you want to spy on him, and you want to do intelligence gathering. Yeah, bitch. Here, I can't sign this fast enough. Boom. Go ahead. Do your thing. And in fact, what should happen is you shouldn't have been let back in the country. Now, that's not saying literally everybody who lives in the UK and goes to Syria and then comes back shouldn't be let in the country, because there's many journalists, for example, who will travel and come back. But you can figure that out in the vetting process. And that's why you need a strong, rigorous vetting process. We have a strict vetting process here in the U.S. Multiple different government agencies involved, biometric screening, they check records, they do multiple interviews. It takes people a year on average to get in the U.S. You have to set up a system like that. And you have to be reasonable and intelligent. You can't fucking, you're gonna let somebody go fight with jihadists. Yeah, well, it's totally cool. I don't see what the problem is. I mean, that's a caricature of a progressive position. That's what that is. That's like, now I'm gonna bend over backwards to act like I'm not seeing anything when there's a million red flags there. And they, like, the police had the nerve to say something along those lines, too, like, well, we didn't see any reason to be concerned. Motherfucker, the facts I just gave you are reason to be concerned. When somebody's in a documentary called The Jihadis Next Door, he's praying in front of an Islamic State flag, travels to fucking Syria. Was it an ISIS propaganda video? Who are you kidding? How stupid are you? Okay, I think I've made my point here, but if you don't, if you're not using your intelligence apparatus for this, what the fuck are you using it for? Why does it exist? Why does it exist? What are the police doing? What are people doing all day? If this is not where you're putting your time and your effort, and what's your border situation and your vetting situation, if it's not looking at guys like this and going, you know what? Get the fuck out. What are you doing? Jesus Christ, man. I don't even know what else to say other than that's an abysmal failure of the entire system. From the vetting process to border security to intelligence gathering to police officers. And no, don't try to make it seem like this, I'm taking a conservative position here. I'm taking a common sense position here. When there's all those red flags, you either track the fuck out of the guy and intelligence officers are on his ass 24/7, or you don't let him into the fucking country when he comes back from Syria, when you know what his record is like, and you know he probably went to go fight with jihadists, which means he might be a jihadist. That's exactly what he was. So something should have been done to stop this. There's no excuse that this wasn't prevented. This could have been prevented if anybody along the way had common sense and said, no, yeah, we got to keep our eye here. What are we doing?